Hello again, guys. Welcome to another edition of the
go.
Mana Sync.
I didn't feel that one, Skippy.
Oh. Hello again, guys. Welcome to another edition of the Mana Sync, where we sync you up with your weekly dose of magical information. Back after a week break. I was really eccentric, but all right.
Hi.
I'm a level 1 judge now. That's pretty cool. Took my judge test at the Grand Prix trial that we had here, which I won. I am a level 1 judge now. I get to start judging events hopefully soon. The level 2 judge Samuel Hanna the 5th is the one that gave me my test. Very cool judge. And
Weird.
yes,
He's a weirdly interesting person.
and he's a 5th.
Yep.
Like, how many 5th?
And he even says that he's going to have a 6.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Very cool.
He's going to have a little girl. He's going to name it Samuel Hanna the 6. He makes a lot of magic-related puns.
He is a very magically punny guy.
Yeah.
Here is Samuel Hanna the 5th.
So introduce yourself. Who are you? What you do? Why you're wearing that snazzy shirt?
Oh, well.
Did they send it to you, or do you have to buy the shirt, or?
No, the shirt, actually, you can request them when you attend a Grand Prix. So, like, my first Grand Prix was Grand Prix Atlanta. I only have 2.
So you worked on GP Atlanta. What other one?
GP Charleston. I didn't even consider getting L2 until someone mentioned it to me, but I was like, why would I do that? And they're like, well, you have a higher chance of getting accepted for GPs and stuff. And I was like, okay, maybe that's something I'll pursue.
L2.
The requirements, you have to head judge a competitive level tournament with another judge under you, and then you also have to judge some other things. There's like 3 requirements. There's a judge wiki, internationalmagicjudges.org. There are people who like constantly update the judge wiki and are actually translating it into multiple languages and stuff. So that has really good information on what is required to be like this level judge.
Right. I mean, for L1, what do you think like the basic requirements are going to be?
Man,
For the rest of the world out here that you need to know.
you actually it's really kind of a knowledge thing. I can't think of it. There are no actual requirements. Like I even thought that you would have to have the rules advisor. You don't have to have a rules advisor. There are people today that are going to test that don't have rules advisor, which is perfectly fine. Rules advisor is kind of like a self-gauging sort of deal, and you can say you're a rules advisor. It's kind of like a stepping stone that you can do on your own, because you actually cannot become an L1 strictly on your own. I became a rules advisor on my own. Like
You take an online test.
I found it, I did some practice stuff, took an online test, and I'm like, oh, I'm a rules advisor. But L1, you actually have to have an L2 plus test you for it. So that's why I'm here today, to help.
I consider myself a DCI 0 because I own the store.
Everyone is an L0 who is a prospective judge. That's how we refer to prospective judges, our L0s.
Yeah.
So what are the different levels?
There's 5 levels total, if you discount L0s. Sorry. L1s are local judges. Normally they'll be doing Friday Night Magic, probably floor judging some GPTs, or maybe even some larger events if they get accepted at those. Like, my first large event that I ever did was Star City Games Charlotte in February of 2012, and I did that. I thought it was awesome because I was already an L1. I just got L1 because I was the rules guy at my store. L1s are mostly going to be doing minor competitive events and judging FNMs. L2s, which is what I am, are going to be doing, they are referred to as area judges. One of the requirements to maintain L2 is you actually have to judge in 2 locations every 12 months. Now, the requirements to maintain are not very strict, but that gives you a general idea of what you're expected to do as an L2. Is you're actually supposed to be going to different stores or different places. So you're supposed to kind of be getting around, that way you meet new people, meet new judges, and kind of expand your horizons. L3s are regional judges. They cover a lot more ground. Like for GPs, they actually require a certain number of L3s, and to be able to be an L3, you have, to my understanding, you have to be able to commit to attending a specific number of GPs. And L4s, actually in between L3 and L4 are regional coordinators, which I like to think of as L3.5. There are 8 regions in the United States, and regional coordinators are the people that tournament organizers and store owners would want to talk to in order to find judges. Regional coordinators are very knowledgeable about who's in their region, you know, what they do, staying in contact with people, and trying to assist tournament organizers in locating judges for their events that they would like to set up. Then you have L4 and L5, which moves out of the judging category a bit, but they still do things like head judging GPs. The head judge for GP Charleston was an L4, and the head judge for GP Atlanta was an L5. And they also move far more into policy area. There are very few L4s and L5s, just because they're probably not, they don't need a whole lot of them. They do a lot of, they have a very comprehensive knowledge of how rules work and why they're in place. Like Toby Elliott actually writes the IPG. He's the guy who does that. So there's actually a judge out there who is making the rules. So that's the judge levels. That's what this game is about. I don't judge for promos or because I'm power tripping. It's because I find it enjoyable.
All right.
I mean, you could power trip and still find it enjoyable, but hey, I think the same rule applies to actually playing the game as well. You're mostly here to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Well,
Okay.
play the game. Like, you don't have to be the best of the best or be the most competitive or win a lot, but, you know, have an enjoyable match. I played in a Legacy Open and ended up going like 3-5. But my last match I was 2-5. He did not care at that point. I was playing Dredge. I was terrible at Dredge. I was keeping hands without dredgers. You should not do that. I didn't know that, but I was having fun. That was kind of the point. So the last match, I didn't care, and yeah, it was cool. He had this really ridiculous deck. Infect plus Berserk and Invigorate are stupid. I swing like Glistener Elf. I'll give you +3 life and give my dude +4/+4 and Berserk it. I guess you lose. You know. Good game. Competitive level play is definitely, with like competitive rules enforcement level, it is more strict because there aren't actually penalties to mistakes that are normally fixed with a warning at Friday Night Magic. Like, if you draw an extra card on accident at Friday Night Magic, and since hopefully you didn't try and do that on purpose, if you do it and you're like, oh, I drew an extra card on accident, and judge comes over and it's like, okay, do you know which one it is? Like, when you are fixing stuff at Friday Night Magic, you can just come up with you can deviate from a lot. But something that's like fair, if they do know which one it is but the opponent's not content with that, you can just have them put a random card back and then shuffle it in, and then you're good. At competitive though, if you draw an extra card, it is a game loss. Game losses are not end of the world. Like, again, it's more of a learning experience. I think that's probably the biggest mistake people make in references to rules. They'll take penalties way too seriously. Like, people take warnings very seriously, which is good for me, but it also has a flip side where people are like, oh crap, I got a warning, you know. It's not, a warning is a warning. It's not, it doesn't actually carry anything unless you're making the same mistake multiple times, but you think you'd learn from it. Like, don't, say you go to draw and you accidentally pick up 2 cards and see the bottom one, and then you like put it back down and then draw your card. So just the top card and not the second one. That's looking at extra cards, which is just a warning. It's a mistake that happens. So, like, deck gets shuffled, you just get a warning. That's it. Now, if you get 2 looking at extra card penalties, it gets upgraded. But that's that's not so bad. You should try and refrain from making the same mistakes.
Okay.
Especially that's the whole purpose of a warning. And I would tell someone like, you've done this. If it happens again, it gets upgraded to a game loss. And I'm pretty sure they'll be very careful at not looking at extra cards. It's because it's a mistake. And if they're there to have fun, then they're probably not. Let judges worry about the rules. You don't have to worry about like what penalties are or like anything like that. If you are just having a good time and having fun playing Magic, that's really what it should be. If you happen to win too, that's also good. I mean, because granted, you're probably also here to win. I'm not going to deny that people are actually here to win and think in some magical fairyland that everyone's just having a good old time. You know, some people are gonna try and win. Good for them. They'll probably take it more seriously. But like at Friday Night Magic, I try to enjoy what I'm doing. Because why not?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not playing this card game to become really good at it.
Emphasis on game.
Yeah, it is a game. This is not going to mess up your entire life. Again, unless you're at super competitive level where you're making a career out of it, but I probably wouldn't have to tell you that if you were.
Well, that interview was fantastic.
Yep.
Man, like, I feel so much more informed now. Like, I guess the point, they're just really just...
I mean, he and I had a
Have
very
fun.
similar conversation after everyone left about, you know, just the casual, the Friday Night Magic versus your RELs.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
And that, you know, he and I went over the test later on. It's like, oh, well, how'd you do this? I'm like, well, you know, the other rules say this. No, well, in Friday Night Magic, we really don't do it like this. You know, you're versus a competitive level. Yeah, you give them the game loss or the warning, official
Yeah.
warning.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Mine was all, if Nancy does this and Addison does this, what happens?
If Norris and Adam were playing against each other, I'll explain the difference when I actually put A and N.
for like a non-active player and active player.
Right.
It was interesting.
So you're taking a pre-test or you got your judge test. It'll say each name will start with an N or an A.
Correct. For active player and non-active player.
Like I actually went over with them. The biggest questions I actually had trouble with were the ones that involved multiple layers.
Yeah, layering questions. I love
Jordan.
it. So, if you have a card that turns a land into a swamp, and that card is equipped or is attached to a rootbound crag, which taps at a red or green mana. If you control a forest, no, actually, no, it just taps at a red or green.
Buddy land.
A buddy land. Okay, say you have a spreading seas attached to a buddy land, Sunpetal Grove, Drowned Catacombs, spreading seas, one in a blue enchantment. When it comes into play, draw a card. Enchanted land becomes an island. So, if you have spreading seas attached to a rootbound crag, what color land or what color mana is produced by the rootbound crag? Blue. Because the fact that spreading seas says that the enchanted land is an island. An island is tapped for only blue mana, and therefore it cannot tap for the additional red or the green.
Right.
So just stuff like that. It's if you plan on taking the judge test, make sure you read the
Well,
rules.
you can even add the one that I was talking about with you. That was on the one test I took. When it had the Blood Moon with the non-basic lands tap
Correct.
for red.
Correct.
You have the exact same card equipped with the same thing. Was a tap for?
Still a red.
Yep.
Because it is a global effect. Blood Moon is a global effect. So, but hopefully I'll be able to use my judging skills and knowledge at the upcoming Grand Prix in Grand Prix Charlotte, February 23rd and 24th. I believe it's 2 weeks after the Pro Tour. Format's Gate Crash sealed. They're doing this cool gold rush thing, which you can read all about it on StarCityGames.com. And speaking of websites, actually,
Yeah, I've been slaving away at the website, and for the most part, 80% of the cards are up, and we have most of our inventory up. I'm still working on the actual the layout better, but it's up, and we're trying to work on the function where you can order online, pick up in store.
curbside pickup.
So say they'll order something and then be shipped to you, you just come pick it up.
If you're local, of course.
Yeah,
If you want to drive here from Texas, feel free to.
yeah, sure. Driving to Texas.
I'll even give you a free booster pack if you drive here
Oh, yeah.
from
in an interview. Well, hell, we'll even put you on.
Yeah.
there. I drove from Texas,
just to pick up that Thalia.
and if you drive from Canada, I'll give you a box.
If you drive from Canada, well, I'm going to Canada. Do
Does count.
I get a box?
You're not from Canada.
Eh?
Yeah. You drive,
Go in and tell me all about it.
yeah, drive all the way from Calgary. You'll get a booster. box.
Calgary, that Alberta, right?
Yep.
Wow, we have strayed from the episode.
We always do.
Like usual.
I'm trying to think of something magic related to talk about right now. Oh yeah, got a new clock.
Yes.
A countdown clock. I actually have the remote for it.
Oh man, we can make it move from over
I
here.
hope so. Okay, cool.
You're making this. Actually, you're making the seconds go by.
Yeah, it's my time machine. It goes forward, but second by second.
Man, instead of going back, I'm going forward every second.
Let's go back to the future.
But yeah, February's a huge month actually for Magic. Starting with February 2nd and 3rd, there is an Open, SEG Open in Atlanta. Then the following week is nothing. Or I'm sure there's some Grand Prix, but nothing around here. Then Pro Tour Montreal. Then Grand Prix Charlotte.
We have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Sneak peek on Sunday.
Oh, I mean, awesome.
Get more play mats.
What set is it? Exactly. But no, I'm just kidding you. Like, I don't mind the game. I'm actually learning about it with the whole chains and everything. But that's for a different.
I'm sure it has the word chaos in it or dragon. No.
It doesn't have dragon. It's got
chaos something. Yeah.
Chaos Abyss of the Dragon's Maze. Fuck with me now, Magic.
Chaos.
Gym Leaders Edition.
Chaos Exodia Abyss. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Nightmare.
One-eyed purple
Mo
yogurt
Dolce.
slinger. Mermail.
Yeah, more male Abyss purple.
But it's a wind-up. Mermail. Number 16, actually.
I have my number 16 mailman.
That's so awkward.
Here's your PSA. Watch your cards.
Yes.
Watch your deck, watch your cards, watch everything.
You may think the people around you are your friends who you see every
But it's always that
week
one rando that comes out of nowhere.
and just snatches shit.
Yeah, we had random people that came in 2 weekends ago, and
We had some missing items.
yeah, a whole deck went
A
missing.
whole deck. Which Yu-Gi-Oh! Is known for its thievery.
Unfortunately,
Is that a word? Thievery?
it's theft. It's unfortunate because it takes one person to ruin it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And for the future, for reference for anybody, if any of your stuff goes stolen, one, the store's not liable. Two, ask one of the store owner or store to call the police and file a report.
That's all we can do. We can't do any more than that. And the unfortunate part is because it's just a game.
Yeah.
And it's just really unfortunate that theft does occur. And we're not the only store where it's ever happened, but thankfully this is the only time it's ever happened to us. And
I've let everyone in the store know that if it happens again, that all the police officers on beat, I know them all.
Not only that,
I've
but
even talked to them. They said just give them a call. They'll come in here and file a report.
would you stop having events?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay, good.
I won't stop having events, but I just tell people to keep an eye out because there's nothing I can do.
Correct. So. I mean, that's all you can do. You can just.
You gotta worry too, because keep in mind, theft over $2,500 is a felony.
Yeah.
Think about something like when a set first comes out, like one of our decks is worth.
Yeah, or that's like someone stealing like a legacy deck. Easy $4 or $5 grand.
I don't even know how much mine's worth at this point.
That's a felony. Just to sum it up, don't steal.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy or that girl. It's just stupid. It doesn't accomplish anything. Yeah, you profit a little bit, but is it really worth it though? Like, how would you feel?
Sleep at night.
How would you feel if that happened to you? Watch your stuff if you're at like a large event and you have a backpack. Make sure you wrap or you put one loop of the backpack underneath one of your legs in your chairs. That way, no one can grab your bag from you, because they're not going to take you with them. Unless you're Halen, then you can probably fit into the guy's pocket. So with his man prees. Yeah, Halen, you wear man prees. But yeah.
Just put one of those like exploding ink things in your bag. So
that'd be legit.
Someone's like, got your bag, run out. Everything's worthless.
That'd be fun. I would like that. So. But yeah. Grand Prix Charlotte. I'm a level 1 judge.
Don't steal.
Don't steal. He's Max.
Go to my website.
MadMax'sComics.com. So, he's Max. I'm Skip. He's James behind the camera. There's James's hand. Tag him in it. And this is the Mana Sync, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy.
White boy.